It all here in the fourth quarter with 2 seconds remaining. Tigers trailing Auburn 21-19. Here's the snap. Placement is down. Kick is up. Line drive kick, and it's good! Tigers win! Tigers win! 22-21 on the road at Jordan-Hare.
Last time that LSU went to the loveliest little village on the plains, that was the way that it ended. And we're joined now by the man that made that kick, Cole Tracy, joins us now. Cole, good afternoon.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
You know, we're doing great, and thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. So it's been a little over 2 years since that afternoon. How often does that get brought up to you? How often do you think about that moment?
Me personally, all the time, but during Auburn week especially, as I was calling in and listening to the replay of the kick, I was thinking, man, I could probably repeat exactly what that announcer says. I've seen it so many times.
Oh, no, hey, I was very fortunate, Cole, myself, to have a game that a lot of people like to point at and say, hey, this is a game that I want to talk about. And it's always special to have that moment. You can kind of relive that big win for LSU. But I've been told that I need to ask you about a story leading into this kick between you, Devin, and Greedy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were on the sideline, and I mean, I'm almost positive. I don't remember kind of everybody, but pretty sure it was them. They were just coming up to me, wishing me good luck and everything. And I think the camera kind of got a little bit of it leading up to it. I think we were maybe in the TV timeout or we were centering the ball or something like that. But I was just laughing, having a good time, joking, giving everybody high fives. And I think a lot of people were wondering, why isn't this guy, lasered focused, not talking to anybody? But that was me being focused. It's just cool, relaxed, and as calm as can be.
So you always hear, like, hey, don't talk to a pitcher when he's got a no-hitter. Don't talk to a kicker before he's got a big kick. But just knowing you a little bit, you were always kind of the opposite. I never saw you where you were tense or you were worried or you had this look on your face. It was always kind of just, hey, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to make the kick. Was that because you were confident in yourself and you knew you could have that personality?
I think so. I think I was very confident going into that season, and also for me personally, I didn't have anything to lose. Coming from a small school, it was just fun and games for me, and obviously I understood and respected the magnitude of each kick. But how I approached that season was, hey, nobody ever expected you to be here, and nobody's going to expect you to make these kicks. So why don't you change that narrative and make it so it's expected.
Cole Tracy, who made the game-winning kick from 42 yards. Correct me if I'm wrong. They did not call a timeout. I don't remember. I know Auburn had called a timeout trying to preserve some time left on the clock. I think it was 2 plays earlier, but they didn't have one. I go through it in my head every time there's somebody trying to ice a kicker, and sometimes they wait so long to do it that the kicker actually gets a practice kick. What was in your mind whenever teams had a timeout that they could use, and did it ever disrupt you when you were going through your mechanics and getting ready to kick?
Yeah, for that specific kick, I knew that they were out of timeout. I'm sure some LSU fan might correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that we called a timeout to stop the clock.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, yeah.
I hadn't even entered the field, so I think that's kind of when that Devin Greedy story started. Was I think we were during that timeout where I was high-fiving and whatnot. But in terms of icing the kicker, some people it might mess up. I think if you're prepared for it, you can go out there and understand that they're probably going to ice it. But also if they don't call a timeout and they leave it on the board, then obviously that's your time. When I was at a freshman, it was one thing that we practiced a lot, and I had gotten iced a lot during my time at Assumption, so I was pretty familiar with it. Personally, I don't think that it does anything. I think it gives you a chance to get another kick if kind of they call it at the last second. And that was something that we had practiced with Josh and Blake was, hey, let's practice this scenario where the team's got a timeout and they call it, and then let's also practice a scenario where a team has one and they don't call it. So to be honest, I would say that might be a little bit trickier for some guys if a team has a timeout and that kicker knows that there's a timeout and he's kind of anticipating it, but they don't call it.
All right, Cole, you're the NCAA field goal leader, all divisions, and the points leader with 502 in all divisions. And so you've got some records that are big time. Do you have a plaque? Do we have something saying, hey, I'm the best to ever do it at this position in the NCAA?
When you set Division II records, the NCAA will send you some plaques. But because I crossed over and didn't technically set the NCAA Division I record, I never got a plaque for any of that. But my dad's done a good job, and he's kind of transformed the famous bar into a Cole Tracy bar. So we got all my jerseys, and we got the game ball from Auburn. We got the record kick at the Fiesta Bowl, and a lot of memorabilia that makes that room really special.
I can promise you, now that you've said that here on this show, there will be an LSU fan that goes to a trophy shop here in town, and brother, you will have a plaque, a trophy, maybe a little bit of both by the time that this interview's over.
That's the best thing about these LSU fans. I mean, it doesn't matter how long ago you played or really what it is they take care of their guys for sure.
Speaking of the LSU fans, Cole, I know that it was a fashionable thing to do to send money to your old school at Assumption, and a lot of LSU fans had done it. So give us an update. What did they do with the money? How much did they raise? And is there a story there to be told about what good came of that?
Yeah. So first off, thank you to everybody that contributed. I mean, I never really even expected or imagined that something like that would have happened. But kind of what I was working on last year, and actually basically made my entire master's program about, was fundraising and developing value and whatnot. Basically, I went back to Massachusetts and I said, hey, LSU had donated $20,000. That was pretty much what it totaled to. Is there anybody that can help me? And so I was asking for donations from Assumption alums, and I had a meeting with one alum, and he said, you know what, let's do this. Let's match LSU's donations right here, right now. He sends this check, slides it across the coffee table to match $20,000. I think it ended up a little bit over $45,000 combined. Had a few other smaller donors from Assumption, and then actually the plans are in place right now. I got an update maybe 2 months ago. With COVID, it's kind of been a little delayed, but they have the renderings. They're going to hopefully pretty soon make some enhancements to the sports medicine facility, which is the goal, and hopefully within the next year or so it'll be nice.
Catching up with Cole Tracy, former LSU legend there. We're talking, of course, about the big kick he made against Auburn, but what's Cole Tracy up to now? Kind of give our listeners an update of what you're doing right now.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but
just go ahead and do it. It's fine.
Waiting for a workout here on Tuesday, so I'm going through the quarantine process right now. I had one last month in Cleveland, and so now I just got into town yesterday, so starting that.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's great to hear that you're still having an opportunity to go out there and show your talents. We've long been asking the question why you have not yet been on that NFL roster with all the talents that we know you have, including coaching. I don't know if you remember this, Cole, but I was a soccer guy growing up, but I'd never been able to kick a football.
Right.
And you taught me in about 7-8 minutes how to kick a football, and actually made like a 30-yarder. And that's all because of your coaching.
Absolutely. No, I mean you had the skill. You just needed a little bit, and so that's also what I'm doing in my spare time back at home. I've been helping the local high school kid and getting out there once or twice a week, and that's really been fun for me, just to kind of re-experience it and kind of give back a little bit. And he's gotten a lot better, so that's great.
Cole, we're almost to the 25-year anniversary of Warren Morris hitting a home run to win the College World Series. And every time I see him, I say, you got any new stories? Because people will come up to him and tell him the story of where they were when he hit the home run. So for you, you got any new stories? Any good stories about fans telling you where they were when you made the kick?
I do. I got a new one. I think it was earlier this week. LSU football tweeted out something, and I reposted it. And I had a fan tell me that she was pregnant during the Auburn game, and she said if Cole Tracy makes this kick, we're going to name our kid Cole. And I think they named him. I forget what the first name, but I think his middle name is now Cole. And so I said, "Oh my God, that's great! That's one of the best stories I've heard." So I let her know that I'll send her a photo from the game and write a little note for the kid when he grows up.
And that's terrific.
I only get dogs named after me. I mean, nobody's ever named a baby after me, Cole. You got me one upped.
That's a terrific story. The kick will live on forever. Cole, best of luck to you in your upcoming tryout. We hope to see you on a team real soon. And thanks for the great memory, and thanks for the time today. Good luck to you.
Hey, thank you. I'm excited to watch Saturday. Go Tigers.